Hello, this is Mac, and we're Refocusing Barbados. Today I want to continue on our discussion about what has happened at the psychiatric hospital. And I want to begin by asking two questions. What has been the response of the nurses at the psychiatric hospital to the news that the charity will no longer be able to return to the psychiatric hospital to help feed the patients who are in need of food? And is it the fact that the charity was feeding over 70 persons daily? Now, I looked at the back page of Thursday's Daily Nation. You know, I'm always reading the Nation, and that's where I get a lot of my news from. And it says that the back page headline says $5 tax call, and the truth is, it doesn't do justice to the article and to the gist of what Mr. Abed was trying to say and what he did say. But I'm going to say this from the beginning. I'm going to say this. There is no amount of money that this administration can get its hands on that will be sufficient to run this country. You hear me clearly? There is no amount of money. I don't care how much money you put in their hands, it still will not be enough to run this country. For one, they're incapable of managing the country. For two, they don't know how. And three, the question I want to ask you, where does the money go? So Mr. Abed, while it is noble for you to call on the citizens of this country, every one of us, to pay a $5 a week in direct taxation, direct taxes, you still have to balance that against the fact that you have a government, an administration that consumes great amount of cash, volumes of cash they consume, and you cannot see anything, or you cannot see anywhere where it's going. So you got to be careful with that one. But I want to cut your throat for that. I want to get back to the gist of what you're saying. The gist of what you're saying is this: if Barbados wants to have a very solid social program where it helps those who are less fortunate, it's going to need a strong economy. And I have been saying that for quite some time. Look back at my videos and you will hear me say, you cannot have a strong social welfare program without having a solid economy. And this is the problem that the government has. And this is the problem that this government doesn't understand. They do not understand how this works. So it's not a problem in them taking up volumes of cash and flirting it away, giving it here, there, everywhere to everybody. It is no problem for them in trying to buy political patronage and to buy political popularity. It's no problem for them. But they don't understand that when they do that, they compromise the longevity and the survival and the vibrance of the entire economy. The economy cannot grow if you're taking volumes of cash out of it. You're strangling it. You're suffocating it. And that's why I say there's no amount of money that you can give these guys which will make a difference to our lives and make a difference to the poor people there who are suffering. Because it seems as though nothing is filtering down to the poorest persons in our society. There are too many people who are hurting. There are too many people in our society who have been left out, they've been forgotten. They're on the fridges. And I keep saying week after week, day after day, that there are too many people in this country who cannot feed their children, who can't send them to school, who are in dire straits. But something is happening in this country, and we gotta watch it. You see all of these strikes taking place all of a sudden, Barbados are becoming very angry and dissatisfied, and they're not taking it any longer. They're walking off the job, and they're doing it mostly in government offices, government departments. They're walking off. They're not taking it. They're venting their frustration and anger. And we have an administration which is very insensitive. It is excellent, very excellent at the politics. But they do not understand that that has run its course, and people have realized what it is and decide that they're going to combat it. But now we have a bigger problem in our society. The bigger problem is this: how do you manage that? How is that anger going to be managed? And who is going to step forward, right, and seeing the problems that we're having and lead us into the future? Who is going to give a new vision for this country? Who is going to carve it out? What does the future look like for all these people out there who are suffering? What does the future look like for the children who have left high school this year, for those who have left university this year? What does it look like? Can they stand at one end of the tunnel and be able to see light somewhere in that tunnel? I put it to you, that doesn't happen. It can't happen, not within the environment within which we live. And so, it comes down to this. Who is going to step up? Who is going to come forward to take all those young people out there, help them to harness all of their energies and their abilities, that they can see a brighter future? How are we going to take our country from where it's at now and try to change the thinking of our people? It has to change. If not, we'll be here in another 10 years. I put it to you, we will be here in another 10 years if we don't start the conversation of how we are going to change fundamentally the way we behave and think and do things in this country. You know, there's a saying that, and it's true, the change starts from the bottom up. And it seems as though it's going to happen this time again. We need to do something about our society, about our country, or what Mr. Abed is calling for is that very same thing. Mr. Abed, I salute you, but I differ. I will differ from you when you ask for a $5 tax cut. You'll be throwing water in the sea. It ain't gonna work. They don't understand the value of money as it relates to our economy, as it relates to our people, as it relates to the future of our children and our children's children. They do not get it. Because right now, it's a selfish pursuit. We have to turn the corner. We have to turn this around. Thank you very much. This has been Mac again. Once again, Refocusing Barbados. Bye-bye.